Hello students, welcome once again to Akshar online classes. How are you all? Yeah, I am S. Mohan, chemistry faculty. Right students? So in the previous class, we discussed like what is IIT and how we have to prepare all those things. But today, we'll see what are the topics actually we cover in your grade, like 8th class this year, and I'll give the introduction of those topics today. Right. So students, here, as already you know, in IIT we are going to mainly discuss about the three subjects. One is math, physics, and chemistry. Right. So in the chemistry, what we are going to discuss actually in 8th class. So before that, first I would like to tell you in the chemistry, what are the how chemistry is big. So see students, chemistry is also very big subject. It's a vast subject. So here it is again classified into some branches. So and in that branch, it consists of three main branches are there. Okay, so we'll discuss that first. Okay, students. So the chemistry we are going to discuss so many topics, but here for our convenient for your IIT syllabus, we divided into three types. One is called as inorganic chemistry. Okay, and the second one is physical chemistry, and third one is organic chemistry. So students, here chemistry is mainly classified into three branches, and those three branches are what? One is inorganic, second is what? Physical, and the third one is what? Organic chemistry. Right? So these three topics we are going to cover in your IIT foundation till 10th class. Right? So next 3 years means this year 8th, you are in 8th. So I think I am taking the class for 8th. So 8th class, next year 9th and 10th. Right. So in this year, we are going to mainly discuss about mainly our focus on inorganic chemistry. Our focus in this year is mainly on inorganic chemistry. But of course, we give small introduction and a small 1 or 2 topics of we cover 1 or 2 topics of physical chemistry also, right? And we are not going to touch anything from the organic chemistry for this year, but coming year we are going to deal mainly physical chemistry and organic chemistry, right? And here these three types of chemistry what are there, these are again having various topics are there, like you can say like units or you can say the chapters. So various chapters are there, and those chapters we are going to cover. So what are the important chapters we are going to cover under these branches? Okay, so here in the inorganic chemistry, students, we are going to mainly discuss about the I'll take another slide, and then so I'm taking the other side here. In this, I'm going to discuss what are the topics actually we cover in inorganic chemistry. So the main important topic we are going to cover in inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry means in the 8th class mainly. So what are the topics we are going to cover is, the first topic we are going to cover is atomic structure. atomic structure. This is a very, very, very important chapter. This gives a basic concept of the atom. Okay, so you know that any matter is made up of a tiny particles called atom. Yes, so you might have studying about the atoms and the molecules, compounds. Okay, in the lower classes, I think in the 7th class also it was there, okay, so there you are going to okay, you have known that atoms, molecules, and everything. So here in this chapter, there is a basic chapter, very important chapter, and so to understand the total concept of the chemistry, first you should know what is the structure of an atom, right? So first you are going to discuss about the structure of atom. So this explains about the only atom. So here you are going to discuss like what are the basic theories are there about the atoms, and how the different theories were modified, and now at present what are the methods we are following, which theory we are following, and how means what is the composition of atom, and what are the particles present in the atom, and where they are present, what are the charges. These are all the things we are going to discuss about the in the atomic structure. Okay, so basically it is complete basic of the atom. Okay, basic of the chemistry. So that we are going to study in the atomic structure or structure of an atom. Right. Then what we do, we go to the second chapter called as a periodic classification of elements. Periodic classification. Periodic classification of elements. This we are going to learn the second chapter. Okay, in this chapter we are what you going to do. So here in the first chapter we are going to discuss what is atom, what are the different theories of atom, and what are the particles present in atom, and what are the nature of the particles that present in the, which are called subatomic particles, or you can call it as fundamental particles, and how do they influence the atom. That we are going to discuss in the first chapter. In the second chapter, what we are going to do is, we are going to discuss about the total number of atoms, means elements, how many are there, right? Total number of elements, how many are there, and how these elements are correlated or interrelated with each other. What are their properties? How to remember these 118 elements are there actually. So how we can remember these 118 elements properties. Okay. So for that purpose, what are the scientists have done? These all the things we are going to discuss about the in this periodic table or periodic classification of elements. As well, this is a very, very important chapter, because here if you know this chapter, if you study this chapter, anywhere out of this 118 elements, if they give one element to you, then you can easily say, okay, what is its properties, whether it is a solid, whether it is a liquid, whether it is a gas, or it's a metal, or it's a metalloid, or it's a non-metal. Okay, so all these things we are going to learn in this chapter. So, and what are its chemical properties, and how it react with the different elements, like how it that element is react with oxygen, how it react with the hydrogen, how it react with the nitrogen, how it react with acids. All this with you will come to know in the periodic classification of elements. Okay, so this is the one of the most important chapter in this 8th class we are going to discuss. Right. Now then come to the third topic. The third topic we are going to discuss is chemical bonding. Chemical bonding. Chemical bonding, this also we are going to discuss here. In this chemical bonding, so you know that like what is the formula of water? What is the formula of water? You know that, I think you know. What is the formula of water? H2O, right? Okay, H2O. So here one oxygen is combining with the two hydrogens. One oxygen is combining with the two hydrogens. Now the question arises that why this oxygen is combining with the two hydrogens? Okay, and what is the force making to bind these two hydrogens and one oxygen together, right? So that we are going to discuss what type of force of attraction is there. Okay, so like you can see water. Okay, already we discussed about the water. Now let us see the sodium chloride. Okay, then the sodium chloride is what, like common salt. Sodium chloride is common salt, and the common salt, the sodium is a metal, and chlorine is a non-metal, and here sodium and chlorine, metal and non-metal, are combining and forming the sodium chloride. Yes, so here in the sodium chloride, sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal, right? Here also there is some force of attraction that is binding and making the sodium chloride. And as we discussed, like water, in that water, hydrogen is gas, oxygen is gas, so these are both are non-metals, and these both are combining to form a liquid, right? So is the force of attraction which is binding the atoms to form a compound or molecule remains same in all the compounds. Okay, so if it is different, then what type of forces are present? Okay, so how these bonds are formed, these all the things we are going to discuss in the chemical bonding chapter. So in the chemical bonding, what we study, like if one molecule is given to you, then you can say why, okay, these two, means how this molecule is made up of, and how they are both are combined. You can able to write draw the structure of those molecule, and what type of force is present among that atoms in the molecule, and what are their properties. This all you are going to tell like this, right? So in this chapter we are going to discuss about this chemical bonding, right? These three chapters actually comes under the inorganic chemistry, right? These three chapters we are going to discuss in the 8th class. Apart from this one, what we are going to discuss? So in this chapter already, as you know, there is some physical chemistry is also there. Physical chemistry. So in the 8th class, we are going to learn 1 or 2 chapters from physical chemistry also. And what are those 1 or 2 topics? Or the first one is about the behavior of gases. Behavior of gases. Okay. So you know that matter exists in 3 states, like solids, liquids, and gases, right? So in this chapter, we are going to discuss about the behavior of gases, only gases. Okay. So why we are not going to discuss about the solids and liquids, that will I will tell you later, but briefly just to understand. For example, here I am having this, okay, pen, okay, and is this pen comes under solid, liquid, or gas? Good, it is solid. Okay, now I am holding the pen, I am applying the force. See, tightly I am tightening here. Okay, I am applying the force, right? Now after applying the force, is there any change in this shape of the pen? No, right? So here it is normally when you apply the force, generally most of the solids, okay, they don't have any effect of pressure on them, right? For example, if you take what do you take, one table, okay, I think you are sitting in okay, on the tables and chairs. So put your hand on the table and press, apply the force, apply the pressure on the table, okay, apply the pressure on the table. Does its shape, size, anything changing? Yes, apply. No. Yes, so there's no much change. Okay, so there's no change in on the table when you are applying the pressure. All right. So similarly, if you increase the temperature, normally in the solids, for example, if I take some, okay, here some rods are there. Okay, so I can't take the rod, but okay, if there is one rod, iron rod is there. Okay, something, and if you apply the pressure and temperature, there will be not much more, okay, changes will not, you cannot see much more changes in the solids, all right. Even in the liquid also, much more changes you can't see, okay. But when you take the gases, gases can change effectively on applying, on changing the conditions like temperature and pressure, okay. For example, you see you know, for example, I think you just imagine you are sitting in your classroom, right? So classroom might be very big. So I think the classroom generally there's about a 30 feet, okay, length, or in terms of if I take the meters, it's approximately 10 meters, okay. So 10 or 5, 6 meters, 10 meters I'll take for easy convenient. So our hall, if you take, okay, this is our hall, okay, our classroom. Just imagine this is our classroom, okay, and this classroom. Okay, so this is a classroom, and in this classroom, okay, this is the length. Let us take 10 meters. This is the length, and here you take the breadth. So let us take, for easy calculation purpose, I am taking this is 5 meters, and a height I can take, okay, 3 meters. So the height, okay, height is 3 meters, right? Now what is the volume of this room? What is the volume of this room? Can you say what is the formula of volume? Good. So volume of the room is, okay, length into breadth into height. This is the formula of volume. And if I substitute here, so B is equal to length, how much? 10 meters, breadth, how much? 5 meters, and into height 3 meters. Okay, so it comes to 10 5 is 50, 53 is 150, 150 cubic meters. This is the volume of your room, your classroom. Your classroom volume is how much? Okay, 150 cubic meters. Means it's a big room, right? Now in this room you are sitting, so you are taking, means you are breathing, yes or no? So you are breathing. Yeah, breathing means what? Everywhere in this room the air is there, yes or no? Everywhere in this room air is there. So if you go to this corner of the room, even though you can breathe, the meaning is what? Air is there. If you go that corner of the room, there also you can breathe, air is there. If you go to some top, okay, so top near the ceiling, there also you can breathe, means what? Air is there, alright. So air is present throughout the room. Air is present throughout the room, okay. Now imagine, students, imagine that if I take this all gas, okay, by using one pump, vacuum pump we can say, by using the vacuum pump, we can suck the total air, that this much room air, very big room air. And for example, you think I have a small box, okay, a small box is there. Now can I compress all this gas in this big room, whatever the gas is there, that big room gas, can I compress in the size of this box? Just this is the size of the box, okay. There is one small size of the box, you can see. This is like one laptops, okay, like no small box, okay. So can I compress this total gas? Can I fix? Can I accommodate this total room? Okay, the gas present in this big room, big hall. Can I compress in the one small room? Think. Yes, you are right. So here I can compress the total gas which is present in this total room, entire room. That total gas I can put in one small box, okay. So that how? By compressing, okay. So we can compress the gases a lot. So when you see the actual size of the actual volume of the gas, when you compare with the volume occupied by the gas, is always means almost negligible. Did you understand the concept what I said? The actual volume where we can compress the gas, that compressed actual volume, okay, is almost negligible. Negligible is what? Very less when you compare the volume occupied by the gas, okay. The meaning is what? This big room's gas we can compress in one small box we can compress, right? So, simple example I will take. I will say, for example, you have a perfume, okay, you have a perfume, then you can just, okay, spray the perfume here, just your body, perfume here, right? And just wait for 10 seconds, just 5 to 10 seconds. If anyone enter in this room, I am here, okay, and my room is very big, just now I told you, okay, room is very big, and my door is there actually, it is far from me, right? So, I sprayed, okay, a perfume on my body here at this corner. Other corner, after just 5-10 seconds later, someone is entering into the room. Someone is entering into the room, you think. So, can you smell that perfume? Is entering into the room from outside. Can you smell that perfume? Yes, he can smell the perfume. Yes or no? He can smell the perfume. So, just you are spraying a small amount of perfume on your body, but within 10-15 seconds, the person who is reaching, okay, who is entering in our room from other end of the room, entering, when he enter inside, immediately he can smell, wow, what a smell, right? So, this is what the perfume is sprayed here, that is spread throughout this room, that smell is spread throughout this room, yes or no? So, the small amount of gas also, whatever the space is available, it occupies the total space, So, there is a lot of effect of conditions or on the gases. So, this effect we can't see on the liquids and the solids normally, right. So, this gases behaves in different way under different conditions, right. So, that behavior of gases, and to explain the behavior of gases, there are so many gas laws out there, okay, like Boyle's law, you might have studied or not, Boyle's law, Charles' law, Avogadro's law, Dalton's law of partial pressure, Graham's law of diffusion, like there are so many laws out there to explain, okay, the what do you say, behavior of gases under different conditions, okay, and all these we are going to study in this behavior of gases. Clear to you, right? Then more. So, what are the topics we going to cover in the 8th class? 1, 2, 3. Okay, atomic structure, periodic classification, and chemical bonding here 3, and this is behavior of gases 4, and one more topic also we are going to cover in your 8th class, that is called mole concept. Okay, mole concept. Okay, this actually mole concept, but actually the chapter name is stoichiometry. This is one of the most important chapters. This also for IIT. So, here so many some numericals will be there, problems will be there, and based on this chapter mostly the questions will appear in the IIT, main IIT. So, that is what this chapter is very important. The name, it is called actually stoichiometry. I think you might have not listened this word, right. So, stoichiometry, this is one of the chapter. And actually this stoichiometry, the word is derived from 3 words. This total word is taken is a combination of 3 words. Okay, one is called stoich, second one is stoichiometry. Okay, so that's nothing but a stoichiometry. So, so here the meaning of stoichiometry is the measuring of measurement of elements or atoms. Okay, so here we are going to discuss in this one how to measure the substances in chemistry. Okay. So, that we are going to learn in this stoichiometry. So, see, the composition is very, very important to make any substance. The composition is very, very important, right. So, you can see like when you get a fever, okay, your little temperature is high, okay, rising of your body, okay, and think there is a time, okay, to take to the doctor, means doctor may not be come, okay, and before going to doctor, what you do? So, normally what you do, if it is possible, then you can take the wet cloth and we, okay, rub our body on our body to reduce the temperature, right. If not, then if you have some tablets also we can take. Nowadays, see, most of the, actually, this is wrong, not a proper method, it's not a correct, but most of the, nowadays people, without consulting the doctor, they are taking their own medication. Yes. So, because nowadays even a small child also know, if he is getting if he is feeling a fever, then immediately take one paracetamol tablet. Okay. And nowadays, one more tablet has come into famous, that is like a Dolo, okay, 600 or 650 Dolo tablets are there, right. So, this is a paracetamol tablet, actually that is paracetamol, composition, okay, is a paracetamol. What is this paracetamol? So, how much, what are the substances are present in it? What the composition, how much, okay. So, materials should be added in that. No. So, that exactly that should be measured. The chemistry that should be accurate, okay. So, otherwise, that shows some bad effects on health, okay, especially in the medicine. If any one of the composition increases or decreases, then instead of making, okay, cure to us, it may cause some different problems, right. So, perfect measurements are required. So, that perfect measurements we learn in the stoichiometry. Like perfect measurements, what, for example, you want to have I want to cook the rice, okay. So, you want to cook the rice, what do? You take the rice, okay, raw rice, and you can add the water and you can put it. But for example, if you are taking 1 glass of rice and 1 glass of water, does rice cook and it become good? May not, because water may not be sufficient. If you put 1 glass of rice and some 10 glass of water, what happened to your rice? No, it is not so. So, there should be like some measurements are required, like 1 glass of rice, so it may be 2 glass of water. Okay, this is one correct measurement, so that if you cook in this way, then the rice will be perfect and you can able to eat it, right. So, here similarly, that okay, this is rice, so here and there some little more or less water is there, so that is not a problem. But in the chemistry, so many things we are coming across, the chemical reactions. So, during these chemical reactions, any reactants, okay, in the reactants means the substance which are reacting. So, in the reactants, if any composition is more or less, that will affect the properties of the product. That will affect the properties of the product. So, that is what here our measurement should be accurate. Okay. So, how much measurement, how to calculate, how to balance the equations, okay. If it is given in like grams or kgs, how to convert into moles, something, all this calculation part, mass calculations, mass relations, mass volume relations, volume relations, this all we are going to discuss in this stoichiometry chapter, and this is a very, very important chapter, mole concept, right students. So, these are the chapters we are going to discuss in the 8th class. Good? Sure. Now, see students, from Monday onwards, we are going to take the classes seriously, right. So, seriously means what? Here we start with a perfect bridge course to you, and here from Monday onwards, we start explaining something to you, and we start giving the notes to you, and we give some work to you to what to learn and what to do, what to practice, okay, because this is what we are going to teach, that is little higher standard than your normal school standards. Is this clear to you? So, that is what you need to little work hard, and constant work is required. Constant means what? Every day you have to spare certain time, okay, to learn this one. So, I hope that Monday onwards, everyone, those who are attending, take 3 notebooks, right, 1 for physics, 1 for chemistry, 1 for mathematics. So, 3 notebooks, and every day you have to attend the classes. If anything is there, however, the materials will be sent to you, right? And whatever we teach something important, do you feel that important things you need to copy and try to understand what you're going to teach. Okay, so first week 1 week or 10 days, that what we are going to teach, that may not be in your material, and later onwards, because this is like a bridge course, so you have to try to understand, you have to note down everything and learn perfectly, right students? So hope everyone will follow, and all the best students. From Monday onwards, we are going to start our perfect, okay, 100% perfect classes. We are going to start from Monday, right students? Any doubt?